Alright, if you are watching this video, that means you have completed lesson 1 and now lesson 2. Look at you getting close. Getting close. Hopefully lesson 2 you thought, hey, that's easy. 4 problems? Shoot. 4 problems? No problem. Okay. Lesson 3. About to get a check mark. Yeah. Notice I got a different hat on. I'm trying to make you think that it's a different day, but it's still the same day. I'm making all these videos on the same day, just changing my hat. Yeah. Lesson 3. Using the distributive property to simplify algebraic expressions. So, it's a lot of big words there, yeah? And I don't know where my highlighter is, so I can't. Oh, there we go. I'm going to highlight some of those big words. So, from the previous lesson, algebraic just means there's going to be some letters. I know what you're thinking. You don't see any letters, which means these are not algebraic expressions. They're just numeric expressions. But our goal is, of course, in the algebra class, is to get to algebraic stuff. And then the other fancy word is distributive property. Let's see. If you are dealing with numeric expressions, then you have 2 options. Either evaluate according to the order of operations, which is PEMDAS, or use the distributive property. Okay, so first off, distribute is a fancy word in math, and it just means, and that's part of life, right? Learning vocabulary, learning what words mean. Distribute. The more words you know, the better. Distribute is a fancy word, and it just means multiply. That's it. Multiply. Okay, so I'm going to do this one according to the order of operations, which is PEMDAS. It says do what's inside the parentheses first. So inside the parentheses we have a 4 and 4 plus 5. You do that first. Bam. And then there are no exponents. Move on to the next thing, which is multiplying and dividing. There is multiplying and dividing. This means 3 times 9, right? Parentheses means multiply. So 3 times 9 is 27. Bam. Done. 2 steps. We did what's inside the parentheses first, multiply second. Okay. This is very important that you understand this. The distributive property is an exception to the rule. This is the rule. These are the rules you are always supposed to follow. Unless you can't. And we'll get to that later. So, it is, the distributive property is an exception to the rule. It still works. It's just, it's going to be strange. Here's what distributive property means. Or it means multiply, right? So what it says you can do is you can multiply the 3 with the 4 to get 12, and then multiply the 3 with the 5 to get 15. Check that out. And then you add, you get 27. So this one we did the adding first, multiplying second. We did the adding first because it was inside the parentheses, like we're supposed to. This is how you're supposed to do it. This is an exception to the rule. If you notice, we get the same answer. It doesn't matter if I show you 1,000 ways to do a problem, you should get the same answer, no matter how many different ways there are to do it. Now, fortunately, in math, usually there's only one way to do a problem. Sometimes there's 2 ways to do a problem. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to do a problem. Those are not good times. Here we go. Oh, look at this. We got some letters. That means these are truly algebraic expressions because there are letters. So we have no choice. We can only simplify it using the distributive property. Got no choice. There's only one way to do this. So you're going to multiply the 4 with the x. 4 times x is 4x. And then you're going to multiply the 4 with the 5. Oh yes, please draw the arrows on your papers. Yeah. Unless you are trying to submit it as a Word document. And then I don't know how you would do that, but you smart. You might be able to figure it out how to do the arrows. I don't know how, but students always be amazing me. Anyways, 4 times x is 4x. 4, then you bring that plus sign right down. And then you got 4 times 5, which is positive 20. Positive 20 or plus 20. Okay? And on this lesson, there's, 8 problems. There's 4 of them that are like that. And then there's going to be 4 like this. These, you got to be careful. Why? Because you're multiplying a negative. You're distributing a negative. So negative 5 times x. That's not the hard part. That's the easy part. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And then you got negative 5. Think of this as a positive 2. Negative 5 times, because that's what parentheses means, positive 2 is negative 10. So look what I wrote. Yeah? Now some students, we see students do this all the time. Check this out. Negative 5 times x, negative 5x. And then they go like this. Negative 5 times 2 is, they know the answer is negative 10, but they just bring the plus sign down. That's not wrong. That is not wrong. However, look what it says. All final answers can only have one plus sign or one minus sign in between the terms. So this is a term. This is a term. We can only have a plus sign or a minus sign. So a positive and a negative makes a negative. So if you write your answer like that, I'll be like, that's not wrong, but I need you to use just one sign. So yeah, super important. Yeah. So if you have to rewind and watch this part of the video over a couple times, do it. It's important. All right. That was a 7-minute lesson. Not too long, not too bad, right? All right.